Hello and welcome back to this week's movement lesson with Miss Kelsey. We are looking at artists from the past like dressmakers, shoemakers, and blacksmiths. Those are artists. We're going to look at what it looks like when they're moving and maybe how they got the idea for that dress or shoe. But first, let's warm up. If you are sitting on the floor, you will just stand quietly where you are, or if you're in a chair, you'll stand up, push your chair in, and then stand behind it. So everyone, please stand quietly where you are. Arms by your side and feet together, so I know you're ready to move. I say, hello, class, and you say, hello, Miss Kelsey. Here we go. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Hello, class. Great. We're going to continue this warm-up with some shape making as we do. Let's first make 3 different shapes at 3 different levels. And I want to make sure that my shapes are using my whole body and not just my fingers. 3 levels. So let's first make a high shape. And then a middle shape. It's not all the way down, but in the middle. And then a low shape. Stand tall. Now we've been practicing those transitions with non-locomotor movements like wiggling and jumping and spinning. So let's try our shapes with those transitions together. First, let's make a high shape. Mine looks like this, but yours could be different. Then I'm going to spin to my middle shape, but maybe you jump. Ready, go. And then I'm going to transition to my low shape by wiggling, but you could do something different. Go. Stand tall. Great job. Now let's take a look at those shapes with a locomotor in between. So that means instead of staying in one place, I'm going to move between my shapes. I'm still going to start with my high shape. Ready? High shape. And then I'm going to slide this way to my middle shape. And then I'm going to run over there to my low shape. Stand tall. Great job. Last time we talked about the difference between the country and the city. Well, I want to really focus in on how the speeds are different. You might move at a slower pace if you were taking a stroll in the country, or if you were running errands in the city, that would definitely be a faster pace. So first, let's look at that slow-paced country day. I like to start my day with some cooking, so I'm going to move and grab some ingredients from the cupboards. Are you moving with me? And come back. Let's try it even slower. Were you really slow? Great. So what do I do when I have all those ingredients? We need to mix them. Like this? No, at a slower pace like this. You try. Now really slow. Great job, friends. Now the next thing I want to do on my slow-paced country day is take a stroll like this. Maybe I'll pick some flowers. What do you see on your country stroll? Oh, maybe trees, maybe some cows in the distance, some horses galloping this way. Great, so far we've cooked some food, we took a stroll, and to finish my lovely country day, I would like to sit in a rocking chair on the porch. Can you pretend you're rocking back and forth slowly? Maybe you're looking at the clouds. Maybe you're watching some friends play. Can you rock slower? I'm barely moving. Fabulous. Let's go ahead and review this beautiful, slow-paced country day. We start in the morning, grabbing those ingredients in the slowest way you can. And then we need to mix those ingredients in a leisurely way. And then our stroll. And our flowers. And let's finish the day with some rocking. Did you enjoy that slow-paced environment? It's so relaxing and nice, and we get to spend time outside. But the opposite of that is what? A fast-paced, maybe frantic, moving around. And that, my friends, is what the city is like. Let's check it out. So the city is a little faster paced, a little more fun, a little more jazz. So the first thing we're going to do in our day in the city is run errands. Surely you've rode around with mom and dad and grandma, and they're always going all these places and doing all the things. Maybe they're getting groceries or medicine or taking you somewhere. They're just always running. So let's run some errands like this. I'm moving really fast, but I'm not really going anywhere. That's what it feels like in the city. And you have to run really hard, and sometimes you don't get very far. Mildly frustrating, I must admit. That is what it's like running errands, friends. So let's try it one more time. I'm going to start way back here, and I'm going to move straight towards you quickly, but actually I'm not going anywhere very quickly. Here we go. Running, here I come. So maybe you're really just not moving at all in your spot like this. Great. Now another thing I might do in the city is, what do you think? Maybe I'm waiting in line at the coffee shop. Everyone's in a hurry at the coffee shop because we need that coffee, so we're waiting in line like this. Can you tap your foot really fast like this? And then they call your name and you wave at them and you run. And you get your coffee. What a crazy experience that coffee shop is. Let's review. The line, your name, and your coffee. My last thing I want to do in the city is dancing. A lot of people like to go out and maybe there's a band or a festival, so you're with your friends and there's dancing. So, my friends, I would like to see your best moves at a very fast pace. Here we go. Yeah, show me those festival moves. Yeah. Freeze. Ooh, day in the city's pretty tough. Let's review. First, friends, we are running errands, but going nowhere too fast. Here we are. Running errands. What are you getting today? Then we're at the coffee shop. Oh, me! And once you have that coffee, there's energy for dancing, dancing, dancing. Freeze. Whew, what a fast-paced day in the city. So you've been talking in your classroom about some of the jobs that people had back in the day, and most of those people had those jobs in the cities, like dressmakers and shoemakers and blacksmiths and bakers and cobblers. There were tons of people working in the city, but in their time, those were the artists of the day. They were creating things that people had not seen before in incredible materials and fabrics in ways that people hadn't seen before. So they were artisans. They made things for people and people pay them. And usually artists do live in the cities. So let's take a closer look at what their day-to-day looks like and where their inspiration comes from. The first artist we're going to look at is the dressmaker. So the dressmaker is making dresses for all of the people in the towns and cities. Everyone comes from all around to see this dressmaker because of how she crafts the fabrics and how she sews them together. So the first thing the dressmaker might do is sketch a picture of what she wants it to look like. She might have a sketchbook, right? These are just empty pages that you can doodle on all of your ideas. Sketchbook. Then she's gonna need this fabric. Lots and lots of fabric. It comes on a bolt like this. And maybe when her clients come, she'll drape it over them and say, "What do you think?" Maybe they'll spin around like this. Freeze. Look at themselves in the mirror. And that's how they decide that the dress will be made of this. So let's make a phrase about what it looks like a day in the life of a dressmaker. First, I'm going to doodle. Hold my book like this, and maybe move slowly as I doodle. I'm thinking really hard. No, that's not it. Maybe we erase it. And then we start over. And then there's the fabric. Imagine the fabric swishing around. I'm going to sway my arms to move flowy like fabric. Add a spin. Freeze. Strike a pose. Great job. Let's try that one again. Doodle quietly. Flow like like the fabric. Add your spin and pose. Stand tall. That is my dressmaker inspiration. So my dressmaker phrase is built with movement that that person might do in their daily life. Next, we're looking at the baker. Now you might think, oh, he's just baking some cookies or some rolls or, whatever. But bakers are really true artists. They have to study their craft, and it's very exact when you're measuring those things to get it to come out a certain way. And when it doesn't come out that way, you have to go back to the drawing board and mix again. So the baker is definitely an artist. Let's take a look at his process. I like to think of all the ingredients he has to use, and a lot of them are kind of messy. The first one that comes to mind is flour. So this is all of the billowing flour that ends up on your face and in your hair and in your dog's eyes. Flour everywhere. And then, once he's got all of those ingredients together, a lot of times they have to knead the dough, and you have to do it in a very specific way to get it to rise or do what you want. So I'm going to knead the dough like this. You try. One hand, then the other, and it's very specific. It's got to be this way for the dough to rise correctly. And of course, the baker always has a giant bowl to mix the ingredients. So I'm going to come down here and I'm going to mix. And mix. Maybe smell. Mix. Check it out. Mix some more, and a sniff. Very good. Let's move through it again. A day in the life of that baker. What was first? The flour. It's everywhere. It's coming out everywhere. And then we knead. One hand, then the other. And now we mix. This is very particular. And stir. Investigate. Stir some more. Take a sniff. Stir. What do you think? What are you making? Oh, sounds delicious. You, too, could be a baker and an artist. Let's check out the next one. The next artist we're looking at is the carpenter. Now, he's building furniture or making wood-type things. And again, while it may not seem that building a desk is that interesting, someone had to come up with that idea. Someone first had to sketch a drawing of what it would look like. Someone had to figure out exactly how long each piece had to be so it would fit together perfectly like a puzzle. And that is clearly artistry. So let's look at some of the things they have to do. Number one, we need wood, and lots of wood. It's kind of heavy, and when you try to pick it all up, it's very hard. So let's try. Grab that piece of wood and maybe put that one over your shoulder like this. But then we need another one. It's kind of a sketchy situation. Just pile it up there. And then try to walk, but don't drop any of it. Don't drop it. It's very hard and heavy. Okay. Put it down. Whew. Now we need to cut the wood. As I said, there are very precise measurements. So when we're cutting, we have to measure first, look close, measure it, mark it, and then we saw it like this. You try. Very good. Let's measure, make a mark, and saw it like this. They probably have easier saws, but this one's way more fun. Now, after you saw it, it could leave some rough edges. Have you ever gotten a splinter? Ugh, those things are terrible. Well, to prevent that, they sand the wood. It's kind of this rough paper-like thing that you rub along the wood to make it smooth so no one gets splinters. So let's take big, long sanding swipes. You try. Is it smooth? Great job. Let's go back to the beginning. What did we do first? We had to collect the wood, even though it was difficult. Here we go. Right here's good. And now we cut. First we measure, make a mark, and saw the wood like this. And now we sand. Make sure it's smooth. We don't want splinters. Great job. Our very last artist that we're checking out today is the blacksmith. Now the blacksmith is making things out of hard metals like swords or horses' hooves or anything else like spoons, hard metal things. But in order to make those things, you have to get the metals very, very hot so you can bend them and form them. So the first thing that blacksmith needs is a fire. So let's go ahead and build this fire, and I'm going to put it all together and light it. It's very warm. How's your fire? Very good. Let's try that one more time. I'm putting things in the fire to burn, like maybe little pieces of wood or little leaves, little kindling that I'm finding on the ground. All things that will burn. And then I'm having someone light it. And now it's warm. Then, once your fire is really cooking, you're going to put on whatever you're working into the fire. Let's pretend a spoon. So I have this kind of weirdly shaped piece of metal that does not look like a spoon. And I'm going to put it in the fire until it's hot, and I take it out. And then I'm going to use something to adjust how it looks. I'm going to hammer it like this until it starts looking like a spoon. Put it back in the fire, take it out, and let's make a spoon. Put it in, take it out, make a spoon. Then, once you've finally got this kind of spoon-looking thing, it's still pretty warm. So the last thing we have to do is cool it off. So you might put it in water or ice or something, and it will make this sound. You try. Oh, that was pretty good. Let's go over the whole thing. First, we have to build the fire. Grab all the things. Put them in. Kindling, wood, and lint. Someone will light it. Now it's warm. Now we get to make the spoon. Put it in, take it out. Then we kind of have to work on it to look like a spoon. Put it in, take it out. Try to make it look like a spoon. And then when it kind of does, we cool it off. Great job! You made your very own spoon. What an artist you are. Let's recap those artists we looked at today. First, there was the dressmaker, using fabric and doodles to bring those dreams to life. There was a carpenter, doing math to create these detailed drawings to be able to build furniture and other wood pieces. The blacksmith is using fires, mallets, and hammers to really create things that don't even exist. And the baker using precise measurements and movements to get the food to do exactly what he wants. Now, for a lot of those artists, the process could start like doodling, or maybe just making a couple notes. I want to make some cookies with Easter eggs in them. Jot that down. Or maybe they saw something somewhere, like a beautiful picture of a dress they wanted to remake. So when you are looking for inspiration for your art, you can find it anywhere. Maybe you can shuffle through some magazines, rip out the pictures and tape them to your wall. Maybe you have a sketchbook, empty pages that just wait for your doodles of dresses you might make, furniture you might build, or drawing you might make. So make sure you're looking everywhere around you for that inspiration to get your creative process going. Everybody, take 3 deep breaths. 2 more. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Cross your arms. Show your teacher you are ready to listen.